Metropolitan School District of North Posey. Are we live? We'll open the meeting by joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and the flag is back in the corner.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jamie, all right. Our first item on the agenda is we have some guests, as we have been doing for the last few board meetings. We enjoy this part very much. So do we go by the agenda on who's part?
Yeah, and Steve is not presenting now, so we'll just.
Okay. So the first guest is, we had a really cool event held in the junior high, and it was put on by a group that is called Women Empowering Women, where that was the event, and I thought it was an outstanding positive influence on our youth. So we welcome you guys to your floor. Tell us about your event and introduce yourselves.
Okay. Can I have a clicker for it?
I'm your clicker.
All right. All right. So, well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you guys all for inviting us here today and supporting Women Empowering Women. As some of you may know, I'm Macy Long. I'm a senior here at North Posey, and these are some of my members are on the BPA trip and just at work, so they weren't able to make it. And so you guys can introduce yourselves.
I'm Julian Pardiv, and I'm the secretary and treasurer. I'm Haley Exline, and I'm like the social media advisor.
I'm Emily Fortune, and I'm the head of the Next Service project we're doing.
Yes. So, I'm a senior here, and I wanted to create a community organization unlike the others. Looking around Posey County, I considered what was missing in regards to the availability of opportunities to those who may be overlooked. My focus went straight to young women. The founding of my organization, Women Empowering Women, came about as a result of my aspiration to spark activism in other women. It has opened the doors for my members to branch out and be a positive character in this community and with a positive impact on the world. It has turned the girls involved into leaders and role models. Volunteering for the agents our organization has served has given my members a sense of pride and joy in their efforts. Not only has Women Empowering Women left an impact on my members and I, but also those we have worked with. I have been personally contacted by the CEO of the Southwest Indiana YWCA, members of other activist organizations, and many citizens of my local community. Since April of 2019, when I first began campaigning for members and organizing ideas, Women Empowering Women has become much more than I could ever have imagined. And I put together a little slideshow to show some things about the organization.
You just go one by one, or we hit play.
One by one. So that's some of my members in my club, and we just had a photo shoot. So this is how it all started. This was my first meeting ever. It was held here over the summer, and I had Amy Moore and Amy Ho, who used to be teachers at the school, help me out, get it started and give me the library to have my first meeting. Started April 2019, my junior year. Like I said, I wanted something different and new. I just started this club by having announcements and getting sign-up sheets and just seeing how many people were interested in doing it. And so our first activity or event was a clothing and toiletry drive. We held it at St. Paul's, and it was just a drop-off day. We gave people about a month in advance to learn about it. And we ended up bringing in over 20 boxes of clothing and over 500 toiletry items, all for YWCA and Borrowed Hearts. And this is just some pictures from the event. There's a lot of boxes, as you can tell. I'm pretty sure those were all the clothes. All the toiletries aren't even in that picture. So we had a lot of stuff. And then after that, we used some of the items that we collected from the toiletry drive and gave them to YWCA, and we organized them into baskets for YWCA residents. So that was something really, really moving. They gave us a tour of the organization, and it's amazing. It's very, very heartfelt. Haley, were you there? Yeah, it was very, very moving to see. We were directly helping people there. It was a very humbling experience to see the women.
Appreciative over the baskets.
Yes, it brought me to tears to see the women talking about. I mean, we talked to one of the women. She was giving us her story. It was amazing.
Whenever
what
they
they
move
do.
out, that's basically all they have.
Yeah.
You have that, and then what you've saved up from your little jobs that you have if you can have a job.
Mhm. It's amazing. And we put like together baskets. I mean, they were feminine products, kids products, wash rags, hair ties, soap, detergent, blankets, all those things that they need. Yeah. And then our third project was the Save the Children fundraiser. It was one of my favorites. We sold Pure Vita bracelets for cheaper than the normal price, which are these bracelets I have on right now. And we sold them, and we were able to raise $700 in benefit of Save the Children Yemen and Save the Children Sudan. So it went straight to women and children in need in third world countries that were devastated by wars and uprisings over the summer. And this is just some pictures of supporters. Emily's over there. Another event that we put on was Borrowed Hearts Volunteering Night. We went to Borrowed Hearts and we folded clothing and just helped them sort out the store, which is a great organization that helps women and children who are in foster families, and they sell, I think it's free to shop there. You can just go get clothes for free, whatever you need, and they have really nice clothing. Like, it's not worn out, like they take top-notch clothing, so that just makes all the children feel like they're really getting quality care and clothes to have. Some more pictures. And we were offered a photo shoot by Plum Portraits, and she just took our pictures, and it was a really fun event. It was really cold, so we were all just like trying to get it done, but it was so much fun. They turned out so well. I just wanted to shout them out with that. It was a really fun time. It was a bonding experience for sure. They turned out really well.
Good photos.
Yeah, they turned out really well, and she offered it for free. It was so nice of her. And yeah, just some of my officers. Faith couldn't be here. She's on BPA. She does so much. She helps me out tremendously. Love her. Yep, Faith, and then Julianne and Haley are here. Some of my officers. And Girls Night, my favorite event of all time. I was so proud of that. It took me a few months to plan, but it was an event for 5th through 8th graders. And they came in, and we had speakers from Zara House, speaker from Albion Fellows Bacon Center, and Willow Tree Posey County. It was a community event that we invite all the girls to do activities, and they learned about healthy relationships, social media literacy, and human trafficking. Just the safety in the world right now. We have to be safe as girls, and we just taught them to realize that they can't be stressed out in high school, things like that. Important things about not being in cliques, drama. And I talked a little bit at the beginning, and we had 90 girls sign up and 70 showed up. So we were very, very proud of the turnout. In between each speaker, they kind of rotated. It was like a health fair. They rotated, and in between each speaker, they had activities. We did icebreakers, where they threw balls around. They threw balls around. These are some of the speakers: Zara House, Albion, and Willow Tree. And so here's some of the girls that were there. Out of the 70, there's so many girls. It's so loud. Icebreakers we did. We had balls where we put like, what's your favorite food? What's an embarrassing moment? What's your favorite memory with a sibling? Something you're proud of. We put on a ball and they tossed it around. Wherever their hand landed, they had to say it. We did trust exercises. We did like the knot game, the human knot game. We had a lip sync battle, which was amazing. They were so good. They were so good at that. We played songs and they had to dance and sing, and we did like a winner with applause. They loved that. We had a prize raffle the whole entire time. Really good prizes. We got a donation and we spent all the money on prizes. We had bracelets. We had Women Empower Women shirts. We had face masks. Just like hair stuff. They were really good prizes. I wanted all of them. And yeah, so it was a really fun time. And at the end, they had a TikTok dance competition, which was that was their all-time favorite. Another dance competition. But anyways, coming up next, we have a project that Emily Fortune is in charge of, and we're doing it in conjunction with Honor Society, which we're all in too. So I'll let Emily talk about that.
So I got the idea because I want to go into oncology when I'm older, and so I wanted to do something that was like just bigger than what I could do, than volunteering. So I put together a drive, like kind of how we did the toiletry drive for the YWCA. I want to do a drive for Chemo Buddies. So with the elementary schools, we're in talks with the principals right now about getting them involved, as well as the junior high. We're going to collect Gatorade Zero, lemon drops, blankets, scarves, lotions, just things that are cheap and people can easily come in. And we're going to have a drop-off day. It's going to go from
Last week of March to the first week of April.
Yeah, so they'll have about 2 weeks. They can drop it off to their schools, and we're going to have prizes for the students that bring in the most donations. And then with Honor Society, when we have our work day at the elementary schools, we're going to have like an assembly line and package it all. and make no soap work pillows, which is like you can heat them up or cool them down to like soothe wherever they're getting their injections at. And we're gonna package those with some like cards and things and send them to Chemo Buddies. So North Posey will have a Chemo Buddy sponsored day with Women Empowering Women.
So, I mean, I just wanted to share a moment that like really impacted me and brought me to tears is girls' night. I had girls direct message me on Instagram and email me. One of the girls emailed me like 2 paragraphs just thanking me, saying, I'm so grateful. She gave me a personal experience. She said, you helped me and my friend realize that we can't worry about people that are being mean to us. We need to be like you guys and be positive in the community and just realize that we don't need to worry about girls that are being mean to us and stuff like that. She said that it helped her and her friend become friends again. And that as long as one girl was impacted by girls' night, my job was done. And when I got that, I was like, yes, that's what I wanted to happen. It was very, very good. We want to thank Mr. Kavanaugh for letting us have it in the junior high. He said to shout out. He's the best. So yeah, shout him out. But yeah, that was a really moving thing. We're really excited to see where it goes. Right now, I'm currently trying to decide if I want to take it with me to college or give it to someone and keep it here, see what happens. I don't know. But thank you guys for inviting us here. We're really happy. We're open to any questions, any comments, anything. So. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, you've got to leave it here.
I have to find someone willing to take it over.
And you can take it to college.
Yeah, I have to find someone willing to take
But
it
you
over.
have to leave it here, of some way or some form.
Yeah. Community organization's good for it.
I think it was outstanding. So how did you, I mean, tell me, how did Women Empowering Women, is that something else that somebody else is doing somewhere else? Or
No, this is completely my idea. I was going back and forth. Well, here's the thing. I was touring Vanderbilt's campus, and I was looking around, and I was like, these people are doing something with their lives. Oh my gosh. I was like, I'm intimidated right now. We need I was like thinking, what can I do in my community? What can I do to get out there and make a difference like these people are? And I mean, I was like, you know what do I like doing? I like helping women. I like proving that girls are worth it, worth the time, proving that girls can do anything anyone can do. So I was like, I'm going to do something with women. I went back and forth with names, and I actually got on my phone. I still have it. I wrote this all down when I was at Vanderbilt. I have it still saved, April 5th, 2019. Remember that date. I wrote down, and every single idea that I wrote down, I have done. So I'm really happy about that. And I was like going between names. I was like, women helping women, women doing things for women. And I was like, women empowering women. And yeah, I made the t-shirts. I designed the t-shirts on Custom Ink, and I sent them out. My girls ordered them, and that brought in some money, which was really nice. And I really like seeing them wear them because it gets out the name. And we gave out shirts to the girls. I've had girls reach out to me wanting to be in it. And so, like I said, I just wanted something different here. We have sports, we have academic teams, we have art clubs, we have honor society, student council. I was like, what's something that girls only can do? I want something for just us girls. And I just thought that'd be great. And I went out and did it. I really like it. It's my favorite thing to do. I love it. I love the girls that help me. It's amazing. It's always a fun time at the meetings. I always say the meeting will be 10, 15 minutes, 45 minutes later, because we always talk and have a good time. So I love that too. But yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm very proud of you girls.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
So is this a school-sponsored club?
No, this is a community organization. I didn't want it affiliated with school just so we could
Yeah, because
make
we
sure-
screw it up a lot.
what did you say?
We would screw it up.
I kind of wanted to just make sure we could do everything. Like there may be something we couldn't have done if it was affiliated with school.
So do you meet during school, after
Nope,
school?
we meet, it's completely outside of school. The only thing we've done with the school is girls' night.
Okay.
So yeah, we meet at St. Paul's, so thanks to St. Paul's, we do it, yeah.
Outstanding.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, so I know you're a senior, and I know what you're gonna do. What are you doing?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to Oakland City and play golf and study human and health sciences.
I don't know what you're gonna do.
I am debating between 2 professions, plastic surgeon or psychiatrist. So, in between 2,
They
and
both are the
college-
same thing, aren't they?
college, I'm undecided. I'm waiting on scholarships, but Indiana, the state of Indiana, I'd love to go to IU. If I really want to go to Florida State or Alabama though, right now. So we'll see. I don't know yet. Probably
Well,
IU.
Keep the Women Empowering Women here and keep the girls night.
They've already asked me, can you please have another one before the school ends? I'm like,
There can't be enough of those events. Thank you very much.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Steve, you're next on the agenda. Did you have something?
No, ours was during the closed session.
Okay. And as that, we all got to tour the junior high and see the new stuff and the wish list and what's going on in there. So we appreciate that. Next up, Coach Mall, 2.0.
Thank you, guys. I'm actually going to let Tristan, he's going to get up here and talk. I made him write something up. So as long as he doesn't go rogue, it should go really well.
And for those who don't know, we invited Coach Mall last month as our way of recognizing the wrestling's team and their achievements this year. Winning state primarily was the driver behind that. We screwed up and did not invite the entire team. And that's on us. So we're correcting that tonight.
Yeah.
So
No problem. Also, I know you guys obviously know about Nate. He plays fourth in state. A couple things with him. He's got surgery scheduled on Wednesday.
Oh.
So he'll be in our thoughts and prayers, but it also kind of goes back, and he can explain more if you want. You guys have any questions, but he basically wrestled a season on one knee and got fourth in state. So I won't even try to justify what that accomplishment was like. Anyone that's ever been had any type of injury can only imagine, but he's going under the knife Wednesday and did all that with one good knee and one bad knee. So Tristan will stick to the game plan. He'll take any questions at the end, and then those answers will be of his own. But until then, we got him edited up, I think.
all right. You're on camera too, just FYI.
Better yet. I'd like to thank you guys all for inviting us here to hear what we have to say. This season we started out knowing that we were going to win state because of all the work that we put in the past 4 years, and we knew it was going to pay off. This season we started out with excellence when we dominated the Central Six-Way and were crowned champions. And after that, everyone on the team knew and saw how good the team was, so that was good. The next big meet we had was the PAC duels, and there at the tournament there was Tell City and Southridge, and they were both going to be up at Team State later in the year, so we knew that was very big for us. And the big dance was finally here after a couple weeks of preparation and a handful of our teammates agreeing to drop a weight class to make our team even better, and we were ready to go. We started our trip up to Fort Wayne by leaving Friday and having all of our fans cheering for us on Main Street, Poseville, giving us a send-off. Finally, after a 6-hour bus ride, we made it to the hotel, and after that, it was just relaxing and getting your mind off wrestling for a little bit, just relaxing. Saturday morning, we woke up early, and everyone was ready to go. Our first match was against Churubusco. There was a lot of nerves bothering people because the first match was the biggest day of the year, but we gathered ourselves and won 48-24. The next round we had a bye and got to see who will be wrestling next. Our next opponent was South Adams, which wasn't much to that besides pin after pin after pin.
Well said.
We rolled to a 66-9 victory, put North Posey in the semifinals. The semifinals was against Tell City, who we faced earlier in the year. We thought if any team could pull an upset against us, it'd be them. We started off the match with a pin from Dalton Hill, and we kept the momentum going from there, with a final score of 50-24, a dominant performance from North Posey. In the finals, we faced Southridge. Almost everyone on our current team was also on our team when we got beat in the finals match against Prairie Heights a couple seasons ago. So everyone knew how bad it felt to get second, which meant everyone had to bring their A game and wrestle hard for 9 straight minutes. We started out going back and forth. Southridge would win a match and North Posey would win a match. And after 5 weight classes, the score was tied up 12-12. After heavyweight is when North Posey started spreading the gap. Then we took, oh my gosh. Then we took all the air out of their ship when we started to turn it into a blowout. North Posey won the 1A duels state championship with a score of 48-21, making North Posey state champs. And the feeling is one I'll always remember. January 4th, 2020 is a date we will never forget and one we will always be able to look back on and reminisce about. Thank you, and can I answer any questions that the board may have?
Very well put. Well, congratulations. You guys have had an awesome season, and even from the last meeting, you guys hadn't had sectionals yet, was it before the last meeting, or had they had sectionals? Yeah, they had sectionals.
We had sectionals, but we're going to semi-state.
Yeah. we're
Yeah.
in semi-state.
So even additional accolades after that last meeting. So thanks for representing North Posey and doing such a good job.
Mhm.
Well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Yes.
How many people return next year?
Yeah, 19.
19?
We're gonna see if we can bring Nate back and sit in for Wyatt every once in a while. See if people don't recognize, notice the difference.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And I think Cody was named, I'm gonna get it wrong, so somebody say it that knows the initials.
1A Coach of the Year.
1A Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are all welcome to stay and watch the exciting meeting, or you're more than welcome to go. Sounds like lunch is getting. Thank you. All right. Well, that just shows you that we are not very excited. Our next item on the agenda is patrons' concern. We have nobody signed up, so we'll mark that as such. Next item is the minutes, claim docket, consent items that have been presented to you previously regarding the February 10th meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
Make a motion that we approve the consent items as listed.
I have a couple of things to make sure that we have clear going forward. Maggie's requesting that me, Mike Washburn, Kevin Washburn, Brian Snars, golf. Mine is highlighted, I think. She got that in there. She sent the letter and she left off Mike Washburn, but I went ahead and added him back in, and she'll revise the letter. Also, I think to this point, Brian Snars is the only one that has turned in the criminal history, but the other two, Kevin's out in Florida right now, so as soon as they get back, we'll get those forms and we'll get those turned in with the limited criminal history. And Pro Rehab, the contract, if you look, it goes back to July 2019. Just making, they're sending the contract. We probably should have approved it back then, but they, it was kind of a verbal thing and they never did send it. And we never did ask questions, but so that's why that goes back to July 2019 and through the June the 31st, June 22nd, 2022. So anyway, and then I'm requesting that we also pay for those years through corporation funds versus athletic funds, so that that the athletic department, they're looking at buying some very expensive equipment, high jump mats and things like that. And if they pay for this, which is used for every one of our athletes and anything, she's in the building during the day as well. So if we take that money away from them on that, then they won't be able to buy much needed equipment that they want to buy. So I'm asking for the board to approve that contract and also pay that amount each year annually, the $10,622, which I think is a steal for all of the events that we have. And as somebody said, and it's probably worth that, just to hear her sing the national anthem. But anyway, just wanted to make sure that that was clear.
You're not changing your motion?
Nope, I'll make the motion that we approve the consent items with the additions.
Second?
I'll second.
So a motion by Mr. Schmidt and seconded by Mrs. Will to approve the consent items as presented. Any comments or questions regarding those? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0. New business, Dr. Bender.
Yes, I was just going to clarify the contract that Jackie Meyer, the Director of Posey County Special Services, has asked us to enter on behalf of Medicaid billing. Presently, we do Medicaid billing, but it's for the admin costs. So it's indirect costs for what the counselors are doing, or a nurse might do, or different paperwork that has to do with students with special needs. What we're moving towards is continuing that admin billing, but also we're going to submit claims for direct services. So that would be psychological testing, direct services from OT, PT, and speech. And one of the reasons why Mrs. Myers is recommending the PCG group is that there's a lot of paperwork involved in the claim system. This particular vendor pulls directly from the Indiana IEP system. So that would eliminate all of that paperwork that they would have to do as far as the amount of hours they're spending on direct instruction or services, as well as attending the admin part of it, attending conferences and all that paperwork end of it. So when we're looking at school districts around our size for direct billing of services, they're getting between $28,000 to $38,000. As compared to our admin claims, we run around $2,000 to $3,000 a quarter. So approximately $10,000 to $12,000 a year on the admin portion of it, where we're going to capture around $28,000 to $38,000 for direct services. Now on our admin, we're using some of that money, for supplies like for OT, PT, speech, and also testing supplies for the psych team. This $28,000 to $38,000 right now is not earmarked for anything. It could be used to offset the cost of special education services as far as staff. Right now, our Part B funds only cover just a fraction of what we spend on our special education services. Do you have any questions about this new type of billing? All right, well, at this time then I'll ask you to go ahead and approve the agreement with Public Consulting Group to provide the comprehensive Medicaid fee for service billing services for health-related services to Medicaid eligible students. We'll do this in conjunction with Mount Vernon.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement with PCG as stated by Dr. Bender.
Second.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mr. Stock to approve the request as for the Public Consulting Group agreement as presented by Dr. Bender. Any other comments or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0. Dr. Camp?
I'm asking the board to waive the makeup hours for our non-certified staff, the bus drivers, cafeteria workers. When we had the sickness and we had to take the 2 virtual learning days on January the 30th and 31st, we didn't have school. Generally what we do, the teachers they'll have office hours where students can talk to them. And it's obviously we didn't come to school, so the bus drivers didn't work. And so what we've done in the past is we've covered, when it's inclement weather, we've covered that with different required meetings, or the non-certified staff can volunteer for tickets, gates, that sort of thing, and make up the time. And in this case, I didn't feel like that they should have to make up that time due to the illness. and keep them just having to make up time whenever we're doing it for inclement weather. So I'm asking the board to approve the non-certified staff, giving them a waiver of not making them make up the time for those 2 days.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the waiving of makeup hours for the non-certified staff.
The second.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Stock and seconded by Mrs. Will to approve the waiving of the makeup hours for the non-certified staff as presented by Dr. Camp. Any other comments or questions?
Is this something you think we need to look at in the future of changing the policy, or this is just a one-time thing?
I mean, I hate to bring up the term, but with the coronavirus, it could happen again. I would say that this is just a one-time thing. I think we really don't have policies in place for this. We have procedures. When we built all of the one-to-one and the Chrome and this type of learning, we just created different types of strategies and ways to do it. We didn't really write a policy. So really writing a policy to cover a generic policy to cover the whole program probably would be good.
So when we have regular snow days, do we handle that according to the same? We've done this in the past.
Yeah, what happens is a sheet is passed out and they have to document their hours and they turn a sheet in. I think, Amy, do you keep all the sheets for the corporation? So every year that we've been doing this, all the sheets end up coming down to our office.
Okay.
I know other school corporations do have e-learning policies, only because Lauren Evans contacted me today. Mount Vernon's getting ready to adopt one, and they're looking at different policies on e-learning days. Right now, we just have procedures, like Dr. Camp was saying. I go over the procedures with the staff each year, and then we send out the parent letter, but no current policies governing that.
I think the recommendation is probably worth us exploring and looking to do something just as guidance for everybody else. I mean, it's becoming more of a norm for these things to happen. So
we can write an approval policy and attach the procedures that we've been following to it.
Right, and I think it's probably worth looking at others. I mean, there's no sense recreating the wheel if we like what others have and maybe just need to scrub it. Yeah. Any other comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0. And then I guess can we tee that up in your court to help drive that, and then.
In fact, I'm going to be talking to Lauren probably tomorrow. I can ask him what policies he's looking at, and then perhaps you can email them to me.
It would probably be nice if we could get that done before August, before the next school year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the next deadline that we'd have, wouldn't it?
Right.
Okay. Amy, I'm gonna put it in your vote to hold us accountable to that.
Okay.
Professional leave. Yeah.
I'm asking the board to approve the professional leave request as listed, and also with Michelle Parrish, Amanda Reynolds, and Kim Washmer would like to add Julie Gentile. She's going to the same thing. That would add $369 to the package that's listed, and I'd like to.
Which one is she going to?
She's going to the one with Michelle Parrish, Amanda Reynolds, and Kim Washmer.
Harmony Users Conference.
It's on there. Julie, it's already on there.
It's on there.
Well,
Oh, okay. It's on, not on there.
Not on there.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't add anything.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the professional leave requests.
Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Schmidt and seconded by Mr. Oakley to approve the professional leave request as presented by Dr. Camp. Any other comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0.
Under reports and information, not a whole lot of information yet on the personnel for the 2021 school year. I have talked to the principals. We haven't had a formal meeting as of yet, and I think I told you last week we'd be starting to talk about that. That'll be one of the main topics tomorrow in our principals meeting. As soon as I said we were going to start talking about personnel, they all needed more staff immediately, so we're trying to go through all that. But with that being said, I have one ad. I laid it in front of you. Just kind of go over this with you, so just not a bunch of numbers thrown at you. We had VPS give us a budget figures. I think Jeff had requested me to get the budget figures for those classrooms we looked at tonight, and also the STEM lab in the high school. These budget figures are probably a tad high because we overestimated the amount of cabinetry we would put back in, especially with the STEM lab at the high school. There's 2 rooms there. That's why that's so much higher. But there's the computer lab in the back, and also the front room where all the STEM things happen. And so with that being said, they were talking about, some of the teachers were in there, and one of them was asking for the world, which he should have, but that figure is a little bit inflated. Some of the stuff will probably be almost impossible for us to do. So I think once we check out load bearing walls and all of those type things, some of that stuff's not going to be able to get done that's priced in this. But when you flip it over and look at the back, the total construction cost $263,000. The contingency, that's $40,000, basically $10,000 a room that you have set aside if you need it. So the total construction budget is $306,000. Fees would be $22,000, and a furniture allowance of $40,000 would total up to $370,000. I'm thinking the whole project probably will be more like $300,000 to $325,000.
And so when we were talking about this at the last meeting, we thought it might make sense to do it now since we have them out here. What do you think? Do you think there's savings in doing it since we're already doing construction now, or is that number? Do you think that number would be about the same if we had them just brought them in from?
Yeah, this would have to be bid out again. It's a big enough project that you would not be able to just go out. And we could add it to the project, but we don't really have enough money at this particular second to do that.
Right, but what I'm saying is, do we think that there will be savings that, like, the contractors that are here now, will they bid it cheaper since they're already here?
Versus a change order, it'd probably be cheaper to go out to bid again, because then you get multiple contractors in, and then you get better pricing.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's a very doable project with our funds within the house. And we can talk about that more.
Sure.
That's all I had with reports. The next thing on the list, Monday, the 13th of April, is our Easter break. In the past, we changed that to Tuesday. Is it okay to change that meeting to Tuesday, or do you want to come in on Monday evening? There's no school.
I'd rather not do a Tuesday. I'm open to Wednesday.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay.
Is there anything to prevent us from doing it on the Wednesday?
We could go to the next week even.
Next day?
Doesn't affect me.
So
I'd be.
I would like to stay off Tuesdays, period. But
I'm good.
That next Monday?
So it'd be the 15th or the 20th.
The 20th. I'm good either one.
Yeah, me too.
We have superintendent's advisory on the 15th, but that wouldn't prohibit us from doing a meeting. So I can do it the 15th or 20th.
I mean, not either one.
I'm just looking at the spring break thing.
Spring break?
You're not gonna have teachers turning in things that, you got 1 week that's just dead there.
Why don't we just back it to the 20th and keep it on a Monday? Is that all right with everybody? And that'll put the May one real quick, but, the 20th. Move the school board meeting, the April school board meeting to April the 20th. I would recommend that if we're going to have somebody come in and do a little bit of training for the Chromebooks for the board, that we tour North Elementary and then come over to the central office to have our regular meeting, because we're going to have two groups. We're going to have two things pretty big going on right off the bat. One is the training that you're wanting, and two is we're going to have a lady from Harmony come down, if at all possible, and go through the pathways that Angie has been talking about, Dr. Bender has been talking about.
And also about how the students can sign up for classes using the Harmony system. That's similar to what the students in college do. But we have the capability of doing that, so I'm going to show you that.
It's mind blowing.
And then you said Jenna may come in April?
Yeah, we'll have, Jenna will be there from the Posey County Economic Development Partnership. And I think the elementary science fair is between now and then, is that correct?
March 19th. Yeah. It's the science extravaganza. Another set science, the sixth grade science fair projects will be on display there.
It would be neat to have somebody, I don't know if you want the kids there or what, but something from the elementary kids.
Mm-hmm. I know at least last year, some of the kids were there, so whenever we would walk by, they would explain the project to you.
No, I mean at the board meeting.
Oh, at the board meeting. Yeah.
No, if you,
I got that one.
Yeah.
We can bring in.
okay. Sure.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
And that's all I have for the board.
All right.
Sorry, the next court meeting is going to be in the central office, we'll just tour North Elementary.
Yeah, so we'll meet at the central office, right?
Yeah.
And so we're doing that on the 20th, right?
Yes.
5 o'clock or 5:30.
I would say we probably need 5 o'clock.
Okay.
We're going to meet at that soon.
Yeah. You have anything from the safety?
The safety committee met last week. They actually did a tabletop mock drill for one of the schools, and they also brought in representatives from Poseyville and Waitsville Fire Department, and just went through a timeline of events, and it went really well. Everyone seemed very receptive to it, and they're going to follow up with another building tabletop next month and try to get through all 3 buildings before the end of the school year this year. So things are moving pretty good there.
Is there, we talked about this a little bit before in the past, but I mean, with the narrowness of High School Road, is there an opportunity for the safety committee to make a recommendation and at least present it to the commissioners to explore it? I know there's all kinds of barriers behind it between veteran and whatever, but at least to get it on their radar screen that it's.
We can look at that if you think
I mean, I would think that falls under safety, doesn't it? I mean, that's going to be an issue of getting people in and
It falls
out.
under a lot of things.
Yes. But I mean, if there's an event, having a wider access road is going to help, at least just to
Oh,
high school.
absolutely. I mean, so far the safety committee's been focused on just working with what we have to work with.
Sure. But I think also, I mean, even outside of an event, I think we've had a rash of wrecks in the last 2 weeks out there. It seems like it's always not painted the way it should be painted. It's narrow to begin with. It's dark at night.
Might be something that we could have a recommendation letter from the safety committee, and then we take one and endorse it and send
move
it
it
on
on
to the county.
At least, if nothing else, at least to get it on their agenda for them to consider it. And I don't know if they could put that bigger shoulders on or whatever, but that's kind of a little pet peeve of mine anyway, so I'll stop. Anything else on safety?
Not really.
I like the continued social media stuff. When you guys take pictures of that stuff, I think it's well received. It makes the community feel
You
really
can thank
good.
your local sheriff for remembering that we needed some pictures of that. We need some pictures of this. So.
Well done with that. I think that's well received within the community to know that we're doing stuff like that. I mean, reports are great, but I don't think everybody listens to these as much as they look at the pictures. I will say, so I attended the state legislative day at the State House. If you get an opportunity, thank our local senators, Bonita Becker, one, and Tomes. There was a bill in the House, I think 1065 is the number. Depending on what your view on it, there's some not so great language in there that got amended to it and I'm not sure if they've even taken a full vote on this yet or not. I know it's been amended a couple of times.
I think they did. I knew it had to go back to the House. I never heard it.
I don't think it's been voted on in full yet, but so it basically allows referendum dollars to be converted and to be redirected to charter schools. I don't think anybody in the ISBA or anybody that has anything to do with public education is supportive of that, but Tomes and Becker have both voted no multiple times on that bill, and have listened. I talked to Tomes about it, so they still seem to be very supportive of that. Other than that, that's I think the single day count is still on the path to pass, so that'll help us.
That'll help us,
so we
but
don't,
it's gonna hurt us. We're gonna lose money this next 6 months.
because of the mid-year graduates. So that bill will help us in the future. So other than that, that's all I got.
One more thing to bring up that was also brought up today. With the coronavirus, you may have seen the parent letter that went out as far as that came directly from the DOE in connection with the health department. So when we get those types of guidance, we'll just keep pushing that out. One thing that came up today was spring break pending. I guess there's some workplaces that have encouraged employees to do the self-quarantine if you're been a part of any international travel. And so the question to me was, are our employees supposed to do a self-quarantine if they do any international travel?
Or students.
Or students, sure. We haven't gotten any guidance from the IDOE on that. So I guess just keep that in mind unless you have any direction on this.
Well, that's not a can of worms or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we've contacted the state to ask for some guidance, and they haven't provided anything.
I have not.
No, the state has not issued any guidance as it relates to that.
There's
So right,
just some employee groups that are requesting that of their employees.
I'd say we're doing the same thing at work, right? But you have to be traveling to one of those designated countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
so if
It
you're
has to
just,
be out of the country, and it has to be to one of the designated CDC. Not every place you travel to, but do we have any employees planning trips to any of those?
I know that we have
locations?
some international travel. I haven't looked at the list lately to see.
It's like Italy, China,
don't look at me,
there's 3
I
or
don't
4
know.
of them.
South Korea.
South Korea.
South Korea, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's only 3 or 4 countries, so maybe we can.
Okay.
I mean,
And I'll contact them.
obviously if the DOE issues guidance, we want to follow on step with the DOE guidance, but I mean, for us to create our own, that's a slippery slope because, I mean, then what if the parents of
I
a
actually sent
child,
you guys emails asking the same questions, because I knew we were doing it at work. So yeah,
I mean,
if it's,
at what point do you stop? I mean, if we,
if you're saying if the parent travels and the child doesn't, then
yeah,
you
does the
quarantine.
parent, does the child still have to self-quarantine? I mean, I would
I'd
be,
say surely they're gonna issue guidance on
yeah,
that.
I would be more apt to wait for the guidance from the DOE to see what they're doing before we try to take the lead on that. Just my
Since
thoughts.
we're not meeting again.
Right,
till after.
so after spring break,
Yeah.
I mean,
would think we wouldn't have many traveling to those specific countries.
Sure.
Well, those are pretty cheap time to travel to those.
I know,
Yeah.
I say, or if you're going through Boston, I hear that. I wouldn't want to go through Boston. That's what they think, I think a lot of them are coming from.
Through that international border.
Well, a lot of people, so like the first person in Indiana, they've all been in a conference in Boston. So you know they're coming in and out of that airport, and they don't know if they got it at the conference or at the airport, or would not travel through Boston.
Yeah.
Unreal. All right, anybody else have anything for the good of the cause? Okay. We do have a couple of thank you notes here. We have one for Mr. Redmond from last meeting and Mrs. Hendricks. We want to get those taken care of and circulated. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Will, seconded by Mr. Schmidt to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you.